I wanted to ask Sylvie several different questions, and obviously I wanted to start with the movie that we've seen tonight, Gamine. And some of you may know the background of this movie. Gamine actually started as a book, an autobiographical novel written by Sylvie. So this is a very, very personal story, obviously, and only later did it get picked up as a film. And I really wanted to understand from her perspective how that had all come about, and in particular, as she was writing the book, as a film actress, did she see it as a movie as well? And this is what she had to say.
When I was writing the book, I was not really thinking it can be a movie, because it's the opposite you make when you write a book. You take life sequence and you try by words to give a rhythm, a movement. You put it the other way around. And a lot of people in France, when the book came out, they asked me if I want to make a movie out of that. And I thought this was really the mistake to do for me, because I think now with a film you try, you try to really to stick to the reality, and then it becomes a biography. And I think this cannot be taken by an audience, really, because nobody cares about your own life. What they like is what you have done with that. And with the book, I thought I could make something out of this childhood and this Italian family, and the way I was thinking I was so different. I was like blonde with blue eyes among a family where everybody's dark hair, brown eyes, and all my... when I was a young girl, a small girl, I was always like wishing that I was like them, sorry. I was wishing that I was like them. Like dark hair, dark eyes, and dark skin. But obviously didn't work. When Eleanor Fauché, she asked me for the rights of the book, I was first... I was really glad, because not just because she wants to make a movie out of my book, but also because it means that the story I wrote, she found something for herself. So I thought in my head, so I did it. It works. It's a story. It's not just my story. It's a story. And also I have to say that in my family, they said, nothing is really true, but it's exactly that. It means that it's the feeling was really correct. It's not that this one has said this and this one did that and the sequence is exactly the same. It's just, your life, when you think about it, it's a film. It's a movie already. So I have the feeling, for me, I cannot make a film out of a film I have in my head. It was obvious for me that I can make a book.
In doing my research on Sylvie, I noted that Gamine was not the first book she'd written. It was actually the third. And I wondered whether or not, as her career progressed, whether or not she wanted to be doing more writing, or whether acting would always be her first priority. And this is what she had to say about that.
So I'm at the moment writing my fourth book. I don't know. It depends of scripts I receive. It depends of the ideas I get. I have nothing in my head. I should do that. I prefer this or that. I think I need both. I get a balance with that, with writing and acting. I don't know. I hope I will act all my life, and I hope I will have ideas of my life. And I don't know.
If you watch several of Sylvie Testud's more notable films, you'll notice there's a pattern in the types of characters she tends to portray. These are usually characters who are set apart in some way from the people around them. In Gamine, she's the middle sister in a family that has a lot of Italian blood, and her sisters look like Italians. She's the only one who looks French, and she's fair with blue eyes. That sets her apart. In Fear and Trembling from 2004, she plays the only Western employee in a large Japanese firm. That sets her apart. And there are more examples. But I wondered whether or not that she actually sought out those kinds of characters in a conscious way. And this is her response.
This is a very important question for me. I have the feeling, I've always been the minority somewhere. I grew up in a district in Lyon, which is a town 500 kilometers from Paris. I don't know in miles, but it was full of immigration, and we were the minority, the ethnic minority in France, for French one in this district. In my family, I had the feeling I was the minority. And once, when journalists asked me, if one day you direct a film, how would you try to be different? And I answered, that's not my problem to be different. Sometimes I wish I were like everybody. Because after a while, when everybody's telling you, you're so different, you're not like the other one, you have the feeling someone pushes you away and say, you're not like we are, you're different. And after a while, it goes, oh, I want, sometimes. Maybe I will die, on my 2 feet, or I don't know, on my 2 foot maybe. So, I don't know.
The final thing I wanted to explore with Sylvie was that, again, another pattern that I saw in several of the roles she has played. They're very demanding roles. In Beyond Silence from 1996, she played the hearing daughter of deaf parents, and so she had to, for this film, learn a good bit of sign language as well as how to play the clarinet well enough to be convincing on screen. In Fear and Trembling, she had to learn Japanese. She had to be able to speak Japanese dialogue throughout that film. So these are extra demanding roles, and I wanted to find out what drove her to take roles like this. And this is what she had to say.
I think this is one of the nice parts to learn things in movies. I learned, as you said, German, sign language, music, Japanese. I traveled a lot, and I think it's something you have to take for you. And not to think, oh Lord, I have to learn something, I have to work on something, because nobody asks you to do it in a perfect way. I don't know how to speak Japanese. It was just a few lines. But that's our job. We pretend that we can do a lot of stuff, but in real, we can do nothing. I cannot really play music, I cannot really speak Japanese. I can just pretend. And in Fear and Trembling, I was cleaning the toilets. I don't think I know how to do that. I pretend I cannot do that, then I don't have to do it. So, dear John Farr, it was a pleasure to answer your question. I wish I can see you one day. And to the audience, bye.